Lynaris Elpheage, John F. Kennedy head football coach. You watching FanView podcast. Man, me and Stamps was committed to LSU since 10th grade.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man, we was going to LSU. We was going. We was committed in 10th grade, man. I went up there, well, both of us, because we used to always go. Coach Reese took us every year, and then Coach Jack took us every year, too, for their camp. Man, we went up there and
Because back then, that's when they was doing with the top 100.
Yeah.
LSU camp. Yeah.
Yep. Man, we tore it alive. And I tell you, like, on a whole nother level, tore it up. We tore it up. So, Donaldo come, Ebony had Jerry Donaldo. Yep. Donaldo come on the court, took me and Stamps in his office. We both committed right there on the spot.
Welcome back to the FanView podcast. It's your host, G Sports, in the building, man. I got a very, very special guest, man, a New Orleans legend, John F. Kennedy, head football coach, Lynaris Elpheage, man. Appreciate you coming on the podcast, Coach. It's an honor to have you in the building. Like we were talking about before the podcast, bro. I remember watching you when I was in the 8th grade when you came to Homer and played terrible in high school in the second round of the playoffs, and you was running around like Vic, and that's a distinct memory in my mind as a kid that I watched. And, you know, when people started talking about you as I got older and saying how much of a legend you was, I was able to see, I saw it firsthand at down at home, man, at Terrebonne High School, bro. So appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule to come on the podcast, dog. But we always like to start our podcast off, bro, talking about your journey, dog. I know you grew up in the 9th Ward, not that far from Carver, and just what made you fall in love with the game of football and put you in a position now where you lead young people and turning John F. Kennedy into, you know, one of the better programs in the state of Louisiana.
Man, first of all, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I love what you're doing over here, man. I'm honored to be here.
No doubt.
But like you said, man, it started from, just the love of the game, man. Being a young boy, as everybody, that's all we did, right there in the Desire Project. Sampson Park, it started off with basketball, to be honest with you. Like, I'm really a basketball.
So you was a hooper?
I'm a hooper.
Come on, at heart.
At heart, I'm a hooper. That's my first love. But I was good in football.
Right.
So, we all play everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when everything happened, everybody known me for basketball at first until I hit the scene maybe I want to say the 130, that last year of football.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started ringing in football and basketball. But I always was a basketball player first at heart.
Right.
But I just did everything because that's all everybody did in the hood was just
no doubt
play every sport.
And y'all had some hoopers come through the 9th Ward.
Yeah, we had a lot of hoopers, man.
Yeah.
We had a lot of hoopers. I actually started as a true freshman as point guard for Carver.
So at first, early on, it was a battle between football and basketball.
Yes. It was a battle for me. And then, some things happened with the coaches, so, trying to make me pick between the two. And
they was doing that back then?
Yeah, man. It was bad. It was bad. And my first love was basketball, but then they kind of took the love away from me, and I had to just go with what, everybody was telling me, which was football.
So at first, when you made a decision, because, a lot of kids go through that this day. They don't know if they should be a hooper or a football player. Then you got some people saying you should be a football player, and some kids think I think basketball the route. Did you think that was a good decision you was making back then?
At first, I didn't. I didn't know because I didn't want to make the decision. I wanted to play both. I just wanted to continue to play both throughout my whole high school career, like I've been doing my whole life. Like I did it for the Parks. I did it in junior high. Now I'm in senior high, and it's a problem. Like, why would that be a problem? I've been doing this the whole time.
Right.
And, so that was that hurt. It hurt me a lot because I love basketball, Now, at the end of the day, I knew when somebody sat down and talked to me that was the right route to go as far as the next level, but that still wouldn't have stopped me from, doing it on this level. I still could have had both worlds on this level.
Could have been a good, one of the best two-sport athletes in the state.
Right.
Yeah. And your brother was a hooper.
My brother was a hooper. Yeah, and that's why basketball my first love, because that's my big brother, and I watched him, and I wanted to be like him. So
then naturally, you go to San Diego State.
Yeah, he went up there. He went to San Diego, went to Grossmont junior college.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Because he went around the time Marshall Falk was at San Diego State, right?
Marshall was at San Diego State at that time, and he was up there, and he was in Cali the whole time while I was playing. So he didn't really get a chance to see me get down on
He ain't
either
get to
one.
see the human joystick.
No, not like he should have. You know? So he caught me at the end. He caught a couple of my senior year, so he actually got to see it in person. But like as far as like early on going up my 19th grade year, basketball and football, so that was the thing. Like I said, I started my 9th and 10th grade year in basketball. And then I kind of like
and that's when Carver was rolling like they rolling now.
Rolling. The year that I stopped playing was 97, I think, 98 with Fred last year. I don't know if you remember Fred Marshall.
No, Fred Marshall. I thought you were about to say Fred Stamps.
No. Fred Stamps played basketball with me. Fred Marshall was the legend and played football with me. Fred Marshall was a legend in basketball. They call him Jesus. That's where Tyreek get his name from, Baby Jesus. Fred was the first Jesus. And that's the year we lost in the game before the Final Four as a third round in basketball, I think it is. Quarterfinals. We lost at home to Woodlawn. That was his last year. And then, like, if you notice, I don't know if you remember, but every year they went to the quarterfinals, then they went to the Final Four, then they went to the championship, and then they went back and won it.
Mm-hmm.
So from that stretch, Carver had a pool of talent,
yes, indeed,
and basketball that was crazy. They had a hell of a run. They had a hell of a run, man.
Man, I remember the stories. I never played at Carver, but I know a lot of people that talk about, man, when you played Carver, and you got people up there throwing the weights down, intimidating you when you're taking the ball out. Man, you better not make this next shot.
Yeah.
You make this next shot, you ain't gonna make it out of here. Yeah. I heard it was tough to play.
That was the dungeon.
Yeah, it was tough to play the dungeon.
Because it's a ride to get back there. Like when you come in, you gotta go down like a long little thing to go in the alley to even get to the gym. And it's dark.
Right.
It's like some movie type stuff, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the atmosphere it's crazy back there. The dungeon, like when you come in there, you know you coming in there.
Right. So keep taking me through this journey, man. You're in high school, now you're picking football. And, like you say, the legendary Wayne Reese, he leaves. And then, like we talked about before the podcast, you guys start running this spread offense before the spread was even implemented.
Right.
Take me through that era and how special you and Fred Stamps was as a tandem, bro. Like, man, people still talk about y'all to this day. Like, y'all was one of the best 1-2 punches that anybody ever seen in the city.
Right, man. Fred was special, man. Let me back it all the way up, like you said. It's crazy how me and him even get to become a tandem. Now, mind you, I told you we played junior high together.
Mm-hmm.
Stamps played on defense in junior high. Stamps was a free safety.
I can see that.
He didn't even play offense. He didn't even play on offense in junior high. Right? I was quarterback in junior high, and I played corner. I played both, so I played on offense and defense. But once we finished junior high and we got on the senior team, he still started out at safety on the senior team, but then he moved to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I was running back with Coach Reese. So I was at running back. I wasn't even at quarterback. Because I didn't want to play quarterback. I really didn't want to play quarterback.
Why not?
I
don't know. I just didn't. I wanted.
You didn't want the responsibility?
Nah, it wasn't with the responsibility. I was like, I'm a DB, but I wanted to. I like having a ball and running, like
Yeah.
Now when I got to be in the pocket with the spread, it was a whole different animal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to play DB. I was a corner, so that was my thing. Like and a receiver because I love receiver too. So when Coach Reese left, Coach Reese came, and then he left. So going into the spring, the quarterback got hurt. The quarterback got hurt. So Coach Jack told me to go to quarterback.
So were you mad about this decision?
No, I wasn't mad at that point.
Okay.
Because I just figured I was going to fill in and just do this until he come back and then go back to doing my thing. But once I went in there, it was over. I ain't never not been in there until I graduated. So it was, we scrimmaged John Mack.
Mm-hmm.
We scrimmaged John Mack, and that was it. I ain't never come out.
Light bulb went off.
Light bulb went off. Yeah. So, and like a lot of people don't know, I only played quarterback 2 years.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people compare it, and other people have 4-year careers and all that. I only played 2 years. My junior and senior year. My like I said, my sophomore year, I played DB all the way until like week 6, and then I played running back. So I never was in the pocket my sophomore year at all. I always played corner. And then I didn't even get on the varsity team till 10th grade. I was on junior high in 9th grade. I wasn't on the varsity. I mean, I suited up.
Right.
But I didn't play.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I got in, blowouts, and I got some experience Corey reached through us in there. Like I remember my first actual play, man, was in the playoffs against Landry. My first play, as soon as I got in, I got ran over. Big Boy ran over me.
Come on.
I don't know if you remember Boy Landry running back, man. I remember that, like, yeah, he played basketball for him too. But I got in, he ran clean over me, man. I got my first action. I went in there though, and I was small, but I think that's what got our team to be what it was, because Coach Reese used to do us that. Like when we was in junior high, we used to play the JV games. So our whole junior high team would go play the JV game.
So y'all was playing up in a sense.
And
they
used to kill us. Like Covington and all those type of schools, man, they used to kill us. But see, that following year, now we understood why he did what he did. Because we was just like on a whole nother level. And once he left, Coach Jack took over, I got in the pocket, and me and Stamps just had that chemistry. We had that chemistry, man. We had that trust factor. It was just special. Like I can't even explain it. Just something special. And it wasn't just him though. I had 4 good receivers.
Nah, I remember.
You know what I mean? I had.
But Stamp the one that get the
glory. He get the glory because he the big play guy.
Yeah.
And he the highlight guy.
Yeah.
So he was just different. He was different, bro.
Catching slants with one hand.
One hand, man. Like unbelievable, bro. Like he did some stuff that I still haven't seen yet to this day, man. Like I remember one game, my favorite catch from him really is a slant. It's crazy though. We was in the Superdome, was playing McMain. And they had the college scouts was on the sideline watching us. And we on like the 7-yard line, 6-yard line maybe, ran a slant. And it was a tight window. I threw the ball hard as I can. And he caught it with one hand like that on the point. And kept it like that. And ran to the sideline, flipped it to the ref and ran till I was in awe on the field. And when I threw it, I'm like, man, I know he didn't just do this. That's my favorite catch from him. And I know he had a lot of them, but
he must have had some big ass hands, dog.
He got some big hands.
And Stamps ended up going to UL, right?
Stamps went to UL.
Played for the 49ers a little while.
Played for Jacksonville. He played for Jacksonville and he played for the Ravens.
Okay.
And then he went to Canada.
Gotcha.
And he retired
he did his thing out there.
Yeah, he just retired the full all-time receiver ever in Canada.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So take me, all right. So now your name ringing in the city, in the state. Y'all putting on a show with this spread, and then it's time for you to start getting recruited, right? I know you went to go play at Tulane. What happened to your recruitment as it pertains to being recruited as a quarterback?
I wasn't being recruited as a quarterback.
SWAC schools?
SWAC wanted me at quarterback. That's the only one. Southern Grambling, they were the only one. But like as far as D1s and like not D1s, but Power 5s and the bigger schools, all of them wanted me as a DB. Every last one of them. Nobody. SWAC was the only one that would even think about.
Did that offend you?
No. Because I knew.
So you never said to yourself, oh, I know I could do this on the next level.
I knew I could do it. But I'm saying it didn't offend me because I knew my plan was corner. Gotcha. Like that was my thing. Now it did affect me. And that's part of the reason why I chose Tulane. Because of the effect of me having all that success on offense. It made me starting to say, man, I need to touch the ball more. Like I really could get busy. Like,
no doubt.
And I was like, so that kind of like it made me want to go on offense a little more. So that kind of affected my decision making as far as going to school. Because me and Stamps was committed to LSU since 10th grade.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man, we was going to LSU. We was committed in 10th grade, man. I went up there, well, both of us, because we used to always go. Coach Reese took us every year, and then Coach Jack took us every year, too, for their camp. Man, we went up there and...
Because back then, that's when they was doing with the top 100?
Yeah.
LSU camp? Yeah.
Yep. Man, we tore it alive. And I tell you, like, on a whole nother level, tore it up. We tore it up. So Donaldo come, Ebony had Jerry Donaldo.
Yep.
Donaldo come on the court, took me and Stamps in his office. We both committed right there on the spot. On the spot. We was there for 2 years. We was committed. If he wouldn't have got fired, I was going to LSU.
Damn, I never knew that.
Yeah, man. We was going, and
To play corner.
to play corner. Because I was in there as a 10th grade, I was corner. Like,
Right.
that's where I went.
Right.
And I'm talking about, I was locking down. And I even went against a few LSU boys
Right.
that was on the team. And got busy. So
Yeah.
he really, and he saw that, he really,
Y'all
we ain't
stamped yourself.
Yeah, we stamped ourselves with them.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna call no names, but we took care of business against them boys that was on the team already, and that really stamped us. You know what I mean? And it was supposed to be a done deal, man. And then Donaldo got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Saban came in,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'd have knew better, I would have knew Saban better because his demeanor. Like, now me growing up and grown and understand, he just that type of person. Like, he just like a all business.
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to that. Like, I never had none of the coaches who I talked to.
Donaldo was more of a player's coach.
Yeah, all of them. Like, all the coaches that recruit me was more talkative, more communicative. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just like Nick Saban, like the mob. Like, he come in that mud, sit down, cross his legs.
Yeah.
He really wasn't talking. He'll say a few words. Coach Nader was doing all the talking because he was at LSU forever.
Yes.
And I guess by him just getting in. But the crazy part about his recruitment when he was at Michigan State.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, it must have just been his demeanor, and I really wasn't
Used to that.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, he really must don't like me or something like that. He ain't really that high on me.
And you was like that, and Stamps felt the same way you felt.
Yeah, Stan felt the same way. Man. And we kind of like shied away from it. And then it went to Ole Miss and Clemson was really my top two after I shied away from LSU because, Clemson coaches had just left Tulane.
He bowed them.
Bowden.
Right, sure did.
Coach Burns and all them. So Coach Burns and them, that was the top of it was them and Ole Miss was there, but they wasn't really there until I went on my visit. Then they really had a shot because I
Who
had
was the coach at Ole Miss at that time? That was
I think Tuberville.
Yep.
I think Tuberville.
Tommy Tuberville. Yep.
was the coach, man, and it was so that I had winded down. It was I think my five was Georgia, Clemson, Ole Miss, Tulane, and LSU, I think.
And that's amazing, bro. At your size, you know what I mean? Like, kids ain't getting recruited, especially back then.
Right.
If you wasn't 6'6'1",
right. And the crazy part about it, like I told you, all of them was recruit me as a corner because I was listed as an athlete.
mm-hmm.
I was listed as an athlete.
And then you could do punt returns and kick returns.
Kick returns and all that. But my senior year, I didn't play DB at all. 2 games. I played against Curtis, and I played...
The game y'all got cheated? What y'all was up 14?
No, we was going back and forth. We was up, I think it was up 14-7.
Okay.
14-7. Because we was going school for school. I played against Curtis my senior year, and I played against John Eric like the last 3 minutes of the game.
Okay.
But other than that, I ain't played no. And I was hot about that with my coach. I'm like, man, you treat me like a real quarterback. I'm not no quarterback. But now being in the position that I'm in now, I understand.
Couldn't afford to get you hurt.
Right. Well, he did it, and then they knew. The coaches know what they want you at. Like, they don't need to see me play DB.
They know the traits.
They know, yeah. So they knew it, and at the time I didn't understand it, but as time went on, I realized what he was doing. But yeah, man, that was.
So that's how Tulane got you?
Tulane got me because I wanted to play offense. So what happened was I was supposed to go there and play offense. Play both. They told me I could play both. They told me I could play both. Ole Miss told me I could play both. I didn't believe Ole Miss. So I believed Tulane. That's why I did it. Because I really was like, man, I'm going to Charles Woodson. I'm going to do my thing, man. Because I
put on for the city.
Yeah, I'm going to put on. Like, I really felt I could get busy on both sides.
No.
And it wound up, I get to Tulane, man, and they got like about 6, 7 received good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of them come back Like all them
Was
boys.
PJ Franklin still there?
No, he left.
Yeah,
PJ
left.
Franklin left, but they still had like Adrian Burnett,
Mhm.
Terrell Harris, Xander Robinson,
Mhm.
Kerwin Cook.
Mhm.
All them boys. They had all them was there, and they was older. And then they had DBs too. So, coach tell me, I don't want to sit out. Like my whole thing was I'm not registered. I don't get where I'm going.
Right.
I'm going to play. That was my whole thing. So they were like, man, you might, get on the field faster at DB. And, by me wanting to play, I just took advantage. I played the first game. I played a lot. Like I ain't started, but I played a lot. Like if I would have started, I was nickel the whole time. And then by the third game, I started every game.
And you did some returns.
Yeah, I did. I did some returns and all that. Well, not I did some my freshman year, but my sophomore year, I was the guy. I did all of them, all the returns.
So you played at Tulane with 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
What went into the decision for you to leave and not play 4 years?
Man, it was a lot. That was a hard decision because the year that we had, like that was like the best year Tulane had since the 12-0
Mm-hmm.
season, and we had a lot of seniors on that team,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt like I was gonna be the only one coming back on the defense.
There's gonna be a down year, rebuilding year.
Yeah, but not necessarily rebuild. It's just that my guys was gone, and that was a part of it. And the other part, I just had a phenomenal year. Like I had one of the best years in the country as a DB. You know what I mean? So I had 8 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was second in the country in interception. Boy from Notre Dame caught one at the end to take it by one. I was like 5 in punt return yardage average. I was 10 in kickoff return average. I was first in the country in pass breakups. Like I just was like I had a
You was going crazy.
yeah. Like I don't know if I was gonna be able to top that. And then on top of that, my draft grade was good enough for me to feel like I could go. I mean, that was on top of it. At that time, the league that's the goal, man. That's always the goal. And plus, ain't have nothing to hold me back. Like, nah, they making that money. They don't really have to rush
Yeah. Yeah.
to get there. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm from the Night Ward, man.
yeah,
I gotta go get this.
It's right there in front of me, man. Like I really got a chance to do what I want to do with my moms, and so that was the two determining facts. Like I just felt like I had a great year, man. And then all my friends was mostly seniors with me, and I was with them for 3 years, and I was like, man, I think it's time for me to go, and I went.
And then you transition into the league and take me through that experience and all the different adversity you went through with it.
Man, that was tough, man. That was like some of the toughest times in my life as far as like dealing with the politics and the other stuff, and like even before the draft, man, like I got hurt. I pulled my hamstring
So
before
that
the
affected your
draft.
pro day?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I never was hurt before. Like that's crazy. I never pulled my hamstring in my
What's
life.
the odds of that happening?
What's the odds of that happening? I never missed a game. I never was hurt. Like, and I got hurt training. I was in LA training. I pulled my hamstring. Man, it was right before the thing, and I tried to do it, but I couldn't. I pulled up, and that was one of the worst things that ever happened because I ran and I didn't finish the 40, and he put me down as like a 4.9 or something. But I never.
So now that time sticking with you.
Yes. I'm like, man, come on, I'm a.
Nobody gonna look at that time and say, oh, he tore his hamstring or pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
They just gonna see, oh, Lynaris Elpheage running 4.9.
Yeah, so I was mad about that.
Right.
And I'm saying to myself, like, if y'all getting paid all this money to make these decisions, you gotta know I can't run a 4.9 playing corner. Come on, man, 4.9?
On the film.
That's crazy. But that was a process. So, but I shook back, and I wound up working out for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I worked out for the Rams and the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Worked out for both of them pre-draft. So the Rams actually came, like, I want to say 2 days before the draft. and I wound up working out for them on the baseball field. It was a damp day, rain, everything, man. I was like, man, why I had the rain on my day? You know what I'm saying? But bro, when I tell you I killed it, I killed it. I really thought I was going to the
And
ring
you was working out at DB.
at DB.
Gotcha.
Yes, at DB, I killed it. Like, man, the coach one time he went behind me and followed, looked at my footsteps and said he wanted to make sure he saw what he saw. Because he said my footwork was so good like that. And I felt good about after that was over, and they was taking 2 corners in the draft. They had 4 picks. They had 2 in the 3rd round, 2 in the 4th round. And 2 out the 4 picks was DBs.
Right.
And he told me I was gonna be one of them. And when it came, they took the Ryan Gross. I don't know if you remember him. He wound up coming to the Saints too. He came from the Rams and went to the Saints, and then they took the dude name was, I think his name was Jason Garrett or something. Not the coach Jason Garrett. Something Garrett come from SMU.
Okay.
They took both of them, and then they ain't taking me. So that
You got a draft party?
no. I had no draft party. So that kind of like that crushed me.
Right.
Because they told me they was, I thought they was, and they didn't. And then I wound up not going at all, you know. So watching the draft, and I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, man,
I know I'm better than him.
you serious? Like, and then you draft, and I played against him. Like
I killed him.
I got film.
Yes.
You know, I'm talking about like receivers, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, and then if you look at the list, like I was rated like I want to say like the 17th DB for the draft, like before the draft. And I'm like, man, and then the first round, so many DBs went that year. And I was excited because I'm like, well, the more of them come off,
Yeah.
the better it is for me. You
No
know,
doubt.
I got a real good shot because I was behind, bro. You gonna laugh at this list was crazy. I think it was Ike Taylor at 15. No, at 14. No, Ike Taylor might have been at 15, and I
Went
think
to the Steelers.
yeah, and I think Peanut Tillman was at
Went to the Bears.
went to the Bears. He was at like 14, 13 or something like that. And Namdi Osmanwa was 16 and I was 17.
Damn.
That's the year, bro. And they had so many DBs because Marcus Trufant and Terrence Newman was 1 and 2.
Terrence Newman went to Kansas State. Trufant was at Washington State.
At Washington State. He went
That was
to
a hell of a
State.
draft class.
That was a class. They had Roman, all them boys. That was a
Damn.
all them boys.
So that was the what class?
2002.
2002 class. Damn.
2003.
That's 2003 class?
2003.
Okay.
2003 class. Bro, it was like that.
Yeah.
It was like that. And I was like, man, they took all them DBs. I'm good. You know, but then that happened. So once that happened, you know, the free agency thing came about and I had a chance to pick where I wanted to go. And the Rams called me to come. Man, you know I'm not coming now.
Right. I felt played.
I felt really played, yeah. So I wound up signing with the Saints free agent and, you know, went through that whole process and had a good time, man. Went to Europe. They sent me to NFL Europe. Came back on with them for a while. Then they cut me. Then I was out. I wound up working out for the Rams again. During the season when I got cut, I went up there twice. Still ain't signed me. They flew me up there 2 times, worked out. They ain't signed me. So I was like, man, is it really for me? You know, and then I wound up, then the Bucks, Tampa Bay Bucks called me and signed me. So I signed with them. Same thing, went to Europe and all that. Came back home. They cut me. And that was it. That was my shot. Then I wound up playing arena ball for a few years.
So what was your mental state when all that was going on? You know, you go undrafted. That's one situation where you got to get over, right? And then you sign with the Saints. That don't work out. You go work out for the Rams twice. They don't pick you up. You go sign with the Bucks. That don't work out. You go to play arena ball for a little while. Like, take me through your mindset and your thought process through all that different adversity you was going through at that time. Because, like you said, man, you looking at the draft, they got you at 17 behind these dogs. You felt like you belong.
Right. Man, that was the hardest. The draft part was the hardest part to get over for me. Like, cause like you said, like I just knew and I felt that I belonged. Like I knew I was one of them guys. You know, and I felt as though I did everything to prove it, you know, except run.
And the NFL put so much emphasis
And
on
they
that
put
for
so much emphasis on it, and I ain't even get a chance to, redo it because it was so close. It was so close to the draft. I ain't get a chance to run again.
So you believe if you run a 40 that what you think you was gonna run 4.3?
Yeah.
Yeah. You run a 4.3,
4.3, 4.4 at the worst, low 4.4.
your life probably different.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
That was the reason why. So when I got the draft grade, they told me at that time it was, first day, second day.
Yep.
3 days I think it was. But they told me I was going third, fifth round, depends on if I run. If I run good, I'll be first day. So that means first, second round. So once I heard that, that was it. That was really what put me over the top. Well, I know I'm gonna get it, and that was my thing. Like, man, even the third and fifth round at that time, them signing bonuses was crazy.
Yeah.
You go third, fifth round. Now they capping it with where you go and you got a slot. No, them boys was getting 50 mil on the first round pick.
That's why they changed it with the CBA.
Yeah, man. So I'm like,
y'all get broke off too much.
And I'm like, man, if I hit the lead, but I go third or fifth, I'm gonna get,
I can take care of mine.
Take care of mine. It's over. I'm gonna do the rest. And that was my mindset. And I'm like, man, first day, oh yeah, I'm gonna go train. I know I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna go first day. That was my mindset. And for that not to happen, and for me to fall all the way undrafted was like, it was devastating to me. Like I was hurt. I was hurt. I had a chip on my shoulder.
No doubt.
Ever since then, I'm like, man, I'm already small. So that was the first chip. Now this, like, it's just like y'all slapped me in my face with this one. Like my body at work wasn't worth anything. That's how I'm taking it,
No.
And now the part, now when I get there, like with the Saints, man, that was another one too, because I was rolling.
So you feel like you didn't have a real shot?
I don't think I had a real shot. I don't.
A lot of people say that shit.
No, I don't. And
that politics shit real.
It's real, bro. It's real. And the validation for me, and I know because I was there, right? And I knew I belonged because I went against them in practice and I played against them in the games and stuff like that. So you can't tell me I don't belong because I went there and I showed up and I showed out. Like people who came watched me at training camp and stuff like that, they'll tell you. Like and the biggest validation is the guys on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joe Horn, Charles Grant, Aaron Brooks, Michael Lewis, Dante Stallworth, any one of them boys you run across, they gonna know me.
Right.
Same thing with Tampa Bay. Rondé Barber, Brooks, Sapp, Kelly, Dwight Smith, any one of them guys I can see them right now.
They gonna remember
me.
What you did when you was in camp with them.
And they gonna tell you. Dale Carter.
Damn.
That's who was on that team. That was the DBs. Dale Carter, Ashley Ambrose, Fakir Brown, Keo Craver, and I don't know, I think his name was Darren Harper. He wound up playing he was a special team guy for the Saints, and it was me and I forgot one more person. So I'm saying to myself, keep me 5. Can't tell me
I should be in that 5.
I should be in that 5. And I'm a return guy.
Right. They gave you an opportunity to do returns?
I did return in preseason.
Training camp?
Yeah, I led the preseason and punt return. I had a 64-yard return against the Jets.
So, with all of that, right, how do you think that built you into the man you are today?
I think that's why I am who I am. Because the adversity, it takes a strong person to go through that, man. I know it because I saw it firsthand. Like being in school, being in college, they got some of them cats who was coming to the pro days every year, like just trying to get it. And I always told myself, I'm not gonna be one of them. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and I would I had a confidence in myself, and I believe, and I know that I was supposed to be, but everything happened for a reason, so I wasn't gonna like just put my whole life on hold just chasing that like that,
right?
Year in and year out, and I just told myself, like, once I stopped playing arena, and that was it. I just said I'm done, and I ain't never putting that stuff back on again for free,
No doubt.
And this coaching thing came about. That wasn't planned. I never thought I'd have enough patience to do it, but my son, you know, he really the one that got me in it, just being around, like just being around at the parks and just being a dad, just being a fan, just helping out where I can, bringing the coolers for him and bringing the water. But then you got some of the coaches who knew who I was and might ask me for advice this time, ask me for advice again, and then next thing you know, tell me come help out.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started doing it, I just kind of like fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Like I just felt back.
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Seeing kids look up to you.
Seeing kids
helping
wanting to
kids,
learn, helping them and seeing it happen. It's just it's a different feeling.
Yeah,
But
it is.
You still had that connection to the game though. You know what I mean? In a different capacity, but it still feel that fire, you know what I'm saying? It feel that void in you that you feel like it when you're missing it, you know what I'm saying? So
you was able to find another identity.
Another way, man. I was able to find my way in another, and just have a purpose as far as and still being connected to the game and helping other people. And that's just my focus now. I always say like even with me coaching high school right now, like my goal is to have them ready when it's time to go to the next level. Like I don't want it to be a culture shock. Like when they go there, they want to feel like they belong. Because when you feel like that, you're gonna go 100, and then like man, you're gonna have that confidence. Like I did this before.
No doubt.
Like we did this in high school. So you might not do everything, but the basic stuff you're gonna have
For the most part.
For the most part. So once you have that, then you feel as though you belong. Then you're gonna maximize your full potential.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer in that because
Right.
I know everybody don't have that attitude. You know what I mean? Like I had that. Like I'm the guy.
You had a mindset.
I had a mindset. Like I want you. Like I came in there, and that's why I think they took to me like they did in the league with those teams, like with the Saints. Like my first day, one-on-ones, I called Joe Horn out.
Let's get it.
I'm a rookie, right? Hollywood. So I'm a rookie. So normally the rookies go with the rookies, the vets go with the vets. So matter of fact, Tellman Garner came out that year too. Tellman was on
with the
team.
Florida State.
Yeah, he went to Florida State. So it was me and Tellman to go up. And I told Tellman, no disrespect, bro. I want Joe Horn. Because my mindset is if I could show them that I can handle him, he one of the best in the league, I'm going to make it. So always go after the dog, And then once we went, I broke the pass up, and everybody went crazy. The vets, they
bucking it up.
Bucking it up. So guess what happened the next time? He called me out. So now I got what I wanted.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So
all eyes on Lynaris.
All eyes on me now. So I get to show out, and we were going back and forth, and they respect me for that. He respect me for that, and we just had a relationship, and it just went all the way through, and it was on from there. Like everybody like gravitated to that, but that's always with my mindset. Like on basketball, I'm always gonna check the best person on the other team. That just was my mindset. Football, the same thing. If I'm at DB, I want the best receiver. Because I want you think you the best. I want to show you I'm the best. I don't know. That just my DNA, man. And that's how I roll with it, and that's how I roll in life.
Now I do want to touch on something. Obviously, like we talked about, your junior year at Tulane, you had a outstanding year. You felt like you wasn't gonna be able to top that year, so you decided to go to the league. But you didn't get your degree, right? Years later, you go back and get it. I know a lot of cats, when they leave that junior year, they don't go back and get that degree. You decided to go back and get it, and now you started pursuing the coaching thing. Now you're a head coach, a successful head coach. Take me back to that, man, how important that was for you to go back and get that degree after leaving years ago from school to go pursue the NFL.
Yeah, it was crazy, man, because when I first left, the athletic director at the time at Tulane was Rick Dixon. And he told me to promise him that I was gonna come back and do it, right? And I did, which is not thinking. I'm like, man, I get it, but I'm gonna get it whenever I get it.
Right.
Because I'm thinking about the league and stuff like that. So I was, like you said, I was gone for some years, man, and I was like, I need to go back. I need to go do it. And the crazy part about it, man, when I went back there and I went in his office and I brought him to tears. And he broke down crying. He said, "Man, you don't know how long I've been waiting on this day." Because he told me he promised my mama that I was gonna graduate from Tulane. And he broke down in tears, man, and he kept his word. And I went back and
So
I
he
did it.
welcomed you back with open arms.
Open arms, open arms. I'm talking about immediately. I didn't have to do anything. All I had
And
to
how
do,
many years later was this?
this had to be like
That's a long time, bro.
about 6 years. Yeah,
Because once a year passed,
yeah.
a lot of cats ain't going back,
Yeah,
dog.
going back, man. You know, you get that school tough, man. You gotta go while you going. You know what I mean? But I yeah, I went back. He was excited, man, and you know he just was just going off telling me how proud of he was of me for doing this, and this is why he do what he do. He retired now, man. He the reason why Tulane have this stadium also.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Yeoman.
Yeoman, yeah. He I don't know if y'all remember, Tulane played a couple of games at Tag Gorman Stadium when I
I
played.
think I do remember that.
2 years we played a game. Each year we played a game now. And I didn't know at the time, but he was telling me that that's why he was doing it to show the donors and whoever else had the money people how the atmosphere would be if they had their own stadium again.
Right.
So they used Tag Gorman to do that. And man, that
Because
was
it was no atmosphere in the dome.
none. None. You had no
Too big.
Too big. No tailgating. The students have to catch a shuttle to go to the game. Like it just was. We could have 30,000 in there. It's not gonna even.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. It's gonna feel like it's empty.
Yeah.
So it was really. He had a plan, which we didn't know at the time, but he was just breaking all that down to me when I talked to him, and he felt as though he did his job there, and he went out in the sunset, man. He retired. So, but I finished it before he retired, so it was a good thing, man.
I think that's important, man, because a lot of cats, shit, you've been seeing it over the last week, 2 weeks. People entering the draft, entering the draft, entering the draft. And I know a lot of cats, bro, they don't go back and get it. And once you so far removed, some of them be too embarrassed to try to go back. Some of them just, they be in a different headspace and they just never go back and get it. I think that says a lot about you and your mindset and what you want to do with your life to go back and get a degree. And, ultimately, you found our identity, like you were talking about, coaching your son, and now you said to yourself, like, man, I won't keep doing this. And I know I know the people at Kennedy benefiting from it right now. So I kind of want to go back a little bit. We're gonna fast forward past the degree and stuff, but I kind of want to go back. Man, talk about growing up under Marshall Faulk and what him going to Carver did for you, and not only you, but a lot of people in that Ninth Ward area.
Man, it did a lot, man. For watching him growing up. Marshall is a year behind my brother, so they really good friends and best friends, and it was like it was a whole bunch of them, and getting the chance to watch them, and then when he left and did what he did, it just brought like a kind of like a little spotlight down to the Ninth Ward, so people won't know where if he came from there. Let's go see what else is down there. You know what I mean? So, but he was special, man. Like
For real.
that dude, and he went through the same thing too in recruitment. Nobody wanted him to play running back.
And see, now I'm glad you touched on that, because I asked different people, and some people, they say different stories, and you don't know what's true. I'm pretty sure you can give me a more of a clear answer. How the hell did he leave the state? How the hell did he end up at San Diego State?
Because they was one of the only ones who wanted him to play running back. Everybody else recruited him as a DB. Everybody.
They
See,
ain't watch his film?
I don't know, but you gotta understand, he had like 10 interceptions one year too. At Coney, like people don't know he was a real hell of a DB too.
Yeah.
But he wanted to play running back. Like he the listen, bro. I don't know all the history of high school, but I can tell you two people on the defensive side of the ball that had years that you would never know and wouldn't expect: Marshall Faulk and Noel Ellis. Noel had like 14 interceptions one year.
He like was like, didn't he lead the country in interceptions
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that? Something crazy.
Yeah, he had like 14. Marshall had like 10, 11 or something like that, whatever it was. And that wound up not even being a position in college.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the size, you know, I don't know what it was. I don't know what they saw, but he had a goal and a dream, and he stuck to it, bro. He turned down Nebraska, everybody, like all those big schools, and he went to San Diego
And
State.
San Diego State wasn't shit.
And he was fourth string.
He was fourth string when he got there.
Fourth
So what coach got him there? He needs some credit.
I don't know. I forgot who it was.
He needs some credit.
I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't remember who it was, but Marshall was.
Was it? Hold up. Sean Payton went on that still?
I don't know.
Back then, as a young buck?
I ain't sure. I don't know, man. We had to do some research with that one, but I ain't sure. But I know he was like fourth or fifth string, maybe. Man, it just so much stuff happened for him to get his shot. It was crazy. Like 3 people got hurt in the same year.
So that's how he got his shot.
That's how he got his shot. All them boys went down. Boom, boom. Back
So
to
when he
back.
first got there, he was like, damn, I might have made the wrong decision.
I don't know. I ain't talked to him like to know.
Your brother would know.
My brother would know that because that was
Yeah.
they equal, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a little one, so but he stuck with it, bro. And when
And he started cutting up.
once he got in, it was over.
So when he started
His
doing that,
first game, he went for like 200 and something.
yeah.
And it was over.
And when he started doing that at San Diego State, how did that rejuvenate the whole Ninth Ward?
Man, that just made we was proud, man. You know, that's what anybody, like anybody who come from your hood, you rooting for them, you know, even not even just your hood, just from the city.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New Orleans, Louisiana, whatever. You know, like we rooting for them boys, man.
Right.
But we just, you know, you feel a sense of pride because,
Mhm.
you know, he come from where we come from. Like he one of us, you know, so
And he inspiring.
and he inspiring. Like, man, if he could do it, I could do it. You
Yeah.
know? So that always, that always was the thing, man. And then when he got his shot, it was crazy. Like he went on a run that I don't think I'll ever be duplicated. Like he was Superman, bro. It was crazy.
I want to say he had a crazy record, like 12 straight games for 100 yards. It was something along them lines.
Man, he might have had like 5-6 games with 200 or better.
Yeah. It was like
Because he was running for 2, 3,
Yeah,
whatever, and he should have won a Heisman.
yeah. Now who was in who?
They gave it to I think they gave it to Vinny Testaverde.
Yep, from Miami.
Yeah, but he should have won a Heisman.
And so when Marshall, then he goes to the league,
Then he go to the league.
right?
He was a monster right out the gate.
Cuts over the Colts.
Yep.
What y'all thinking then?
Man, it was on, man. We just knew we had one, bro. That was our poster boy. He was the one, man. Like everybody just was happy, man. Happy. You know, and he come out the gate. And then we had 2 New Orleans people. Him and Peyton was on the Colts team.
So it was.
You know, so that was
Because I think he spent like 2 years with Peyton, maybe one.
maybe
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
And then he got traded to the Rams.
Yeah.
And then that was
Right.
the MVPs.
That was the MVPs. Yep.
So when you was coming up under Marshall Folk, so how many years younger from him are you?
I'm 8 or 9.
8 or 9. So
I think-
damn. So when you was 8, damn. So he was in college. Damn near.
Almost. He was all because I seen him play his senior year. His junior year
In high school.
in high school. Because I saw my brother play, because my brother was a senior when he was a junior.
And when you watched him as a kid back then, did you really understand like this dude is
No.
you didn't
I didn't know.
until you got older?
So I got older. Because it was him. It wasn't just him on that call team. They had Tyrone Jones
Okay.
was a year older than him. And he was like that too. So
Where he went?
Grambling. He went to Grambling. He set all kind of records at Grambling and stuff. He a track guy too. All them, and then they ran track too.
Mhm.
So Marshall was fast for real.
Yeah.
Like, he had real like track speed.
Yeah,
But he had moves on to go on top of that, which made him special.
no doubt.
So all them was like that. So I really didn't know like I'm looking at a future Hall of Famer. Like I just knew they was good. Like them boys was good, you know, and I want to do what they doing and better, you know. So that was my mindset with them. But I couldn't sit up here and tell you I knew that he was that guy like that. I just you know how you thinking like
Yeah,
them dudes good, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this your fourth year at Kennedy?
Yeah, I just finished my 4th season.
Finish your fourth season.
Yeah.
Man, let's talk about that, bro. The kids was never known for football. Just being honest. Basketball,
Yeah.
you know, with the Dwayne Mitchells and stuff back in the day, you know, I remember playing against Kennedy and stuff like that. But football, you know, it had some athletes come through, but you never seen them getting to the playoffs and having the type of season you've been having since you've been there, man. First of all, what's the recipe to taking over a program that was broken for so many years? I mean, they changed the name, the late area. You had to deal with all that. But what's been the recipe, bro, to turn that program around and have the success that you've been having? And not only that, been putting kids in school.
Man, it's just hard work, man. Like believing, like just like I told you, I think it goes from my attitude. Like I want to win. Like I don't care what the situation is, I'm going for it, And I came in, it was tough, Like I didn't see it because my first practice, I had like 8 people showed up. The first year I got there, 8 people
Because a lot
showed
of
up.
people were saying you was a fool for taking that job. I don't know if you heard the whispers in the streets.
Nah, I ain't hear it.
Yeah, some people was like, man, what the hell he's thinking about?
Man, but I wasn't. Man, it had to be meant though, because I really wasn't. I wasn't searching for it yet because I was waiting on my son to graduate.
Because you was the OC at
OC at
Carver.
Carver, yeah. So I was saying that when my son graduate, then I start looking. But the opportunity presented itself, and I was like, man, I can't pass it up. Like I really think it could be something. So I had a conversation with my son, make sure he was good, and I let him stay. I ain't taking him. I could have. I needed him, but but I let him stay,
Right.
finish his senior off with his friends and everybody else, and he said he was cool with me going, so I went for it, man, and I went in there. I had, like I said, I had 8 people showed up the first practice I called, and I was like, man, what I got myself into? Like, how we gonna make this work? And then as I went, started getting contact of the kids who was at the school and on the team, and then it started picking up a little bit, and then I had a couple of seniors came. I had like 17 kids left,
I remember that.
and they were starters.
I remember that.
They all went to other schools and started. So that kind of was demoralizing. Like I'm like, man, with those kids, it would have been a whole different story, I believe. But I had quarterback stud, a few receivers, and a couple of, like line. Pretty much everybody who stood was kind of like the backups of the guys who left.
Right.
And but man, I tell you, when that group came together, it was 23 kids. I had 8 the first day, but I wound up we played the season with 23.
Your first year.
My first year. 23, man. And when I tell you those 23, I'll never forget this in my life. Those kids gave me everything they had. Everything, man. And we had a saying like that team is called Left for Dead.
What's the meaning behind it?
Everybody left them to die. Everybody
I
left.
like that.
So we had that on the back of our shirts and stuff like that. That was their motto. That was their saying for the year. They left us to die. So Left for Dead. And we were 23 kids, man. We went 6-2 because that was COVID. 6-2. Made the playoffs for the first time in 18 years at Kennedy with 23 people.
Damn.
And then, man, that group was special, man. I had the quarterback, Damon White was special, man. I had a D lineman. He had to work because his number is 99. But you can't wear 99 on the offensive line.
Right.
And he had to go both ways. So we had to bring 2 jerseys to make him feel good. I had to bring 99 and 77. So when he go on offense, he switched to Maj, man. To Maj Carter, man. Like, so he was one of those guys I had.
Program guy.
Yeah. Micey, like those guys stood knowing didn't know without knowing what was ahead of them. And they came in. I asked them when I had to meet with them. I asked them. I said, "Man, I'm not coming trying to take over y'all. This y'all house. Y'all built this house. I'm just asking y'all to let me be a part of it. Let me guide y'all and just put my stamp on it and we go through this journey together." And they allowed me to come in. They brought in, and the rest is history, man. They started something special. Like that's why we are at the point where we are now because we won those games. We lost in the first round of the playoffs that year, but for us to even,
Yeah,
when we went 6-2,
18 years since y'all been in the playoffs, bro.
6-2, man, and we only lost to Easton and Carver that year, and we played both of them tough, between three people. So it was a testament to those guys, man, and from there, people saw what we was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So now more people trust their kids to come in,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a little more. We wound up probably having about 30, 34, 35 the next year. Put together another good season, and then not this season, but last season was the one where we kind of like really, really hit the scene.
Mm-hmm.
We put it all together. We had numbers. We didn't really have too many people. Had to play both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's history though. After that, man, like they set this tone, and last year team had I don't know if I think it might have been the best record in the school history, but I know we went the furthest in the playoffs.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. Which y'all went to the quarters, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Who y'all lost to this year?
this year we lost to Shaw.
Shaw. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we lost to Shaw. Last year we lost to E.D. White.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's just been up, man. We've been fortunate to get some good kids come in who buy into the program, and and we just trying to build it. Like every
What's been the recipe, bro? Like I said, man, you know, on the streets, people were saying you was a fool for taking that job. And a lot of people were saying, man, you can't win at Kennedy. You can't win there. You're not gonna win there.
Yeah, man. I getting the kids, man. You gotta get the kids. And then we coach our butts off, man. Like we really get down. Like we really coach and we really show the kids that we care. And I think that's why we get as much as we get out of them, and just putting that brand on the field and building that culture and making it a fun culture for kids to want to be a part of. And when the parents come see it, they feel comfortable in sending their kids. And that's the main thing, man. You got to get kids. Like you really have to get the kids in there to be able to do something special. And I think the formula is just us being like just authentic. Like what you see is what you get. I'm a hard coach to play for. I'm old school,
Mm-hmm.
so I
Demand a lot.
yeah, I demand a lot, man, especially from the quarterback. And they buy into it, man. They look past it, the yelling and the fussing, and they know my heart. They know I care. They know when I'm trying to get the best out of them. So
Kids know.
kids know, yeah, they'll know. Outside looking in, you might think I'm crazy or whatever, but they know what to listen to and what not to listen to. So
Don't listen to how I'm saying it.
yeah, listen to what I'm telling you. So
What I'm telling
like you said, they know, and I just think that culture and us being authentic as we are, like we ain't blowing no smoke up you. We telling you how it is, and we coaching you hard, and we demanding a lot, but we gonna have fun. We gonna let you be yourself. And that just that's the formula. That's the method that we take, man. Building a family atmosphere and allow them to be themselves within the team, and you know we all for it. We all for it.
And then the next thing, you know, what people will be saying, why would you go to Kennedy, man? You're not gonna get recruited. You're not gonna be able to go play at the next level if you go to Kennedy. Well, that seems like a myth.
Yes.
Man, one of my favorite guys that you coach, man, Deshaun Baptiste. Signed with Troy.
Yeah.
The Reaper.
The Reaper.
Evans, 2025 kid, right?
Yeah, Evans 2025.
Joey
24.
Joey Davis.
Joey Davis.
And then B.
Baby.
You know what I'm saying? Bernard Causey, man, who was an LSU signee. How have you been able to change the narrative of that, because that's what a lot of people was telling kids around the city. Why would you go to Kennedy? You will not get recruited. You won't be able to have a chance to go play the next level. But you've proven that that is a damn myth.
Yeah, that's a myth, man. You just got to show them, man. That's the only way you could change it. You can show them because you could talk to you.
And I know I'm forgetting some other kids that.
Yeah, you could talk to you blue in the face, but once you show them, and I told them that I've been saying that, man. Like it don't matter where you go, man. They're gonna find you, especially in today's game. Like you have so many avenues to be seen. It's unbelievable. Like when we played, we didn't have that. Like you had a VHS. Like you didn't have social media. Like
Had to
yeah, you had
mail
to
your
mail
teeth
your
off.
teeth off and hope it get there. And like right now, they got coaches and scouts that's just for social media or for whatever platform that you on. Like they're gonna find you. So it don't matter what school you go to. You know what I mean? So that's bad. That's a bad narrative, and I hate when coaches use that and other people, use that to try to get kids to come to their school. I don't do that, man. Like wherever you go, if you good enough, they gonna find you. And the thing is, what you want to know is if you're gonna be put in position to be the best version of yourself in order to get recruited. That's the thing, and that's what we pride on. We gonna put you in the best position to maximize your talent and try to get you seen as much as possible to be the best version of yourself. And if we could do that, if you're that caliber of kid, it's gonna happen. And we ain't everybody not gonna get a D1 scholarship. Everybody
Right,
not gonna go
right.
to
We gotta
college.
be realistic
You
with
gotta
yourself.
be realistic. You know what I mean? So it's it's hard, man. Like if you look at the statistics, you got a better chance of winning the lottery
Yeah,
than to get a D1 scholarship.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
As how it sounds, you got a better chance of winning the lottery twice than you do of making it to the NFL. So you got to be realistic. Some of them, I tell them that all the time. Like, just might be your last stop. But those of you who have the opportunity, you gotta work it. You gotta work your butts off, man. You gotta be able to put in the work, and we gonna put in the work to make sure that we put you in the best position as possible.
Do the kids, and I ain't trying to toot your own horn, and I really don't want you to be modest right now. I really want you to be real with me when I say this. Do the kids realize who you are, or they don't be realizing?
Uh, some of them, but a lot of them really don't. Some of them who parents know me
Yeah,
may have told them, some things about them, but then when we go like and do certain things or go certain place, somebody else might bring it up and man, you don't know who your coach is, this, blah, blah, all that. But some of them don't know, and then unless sometimes, well, they be feeling themselves at practice, and then I got
you gotta bring them
I
down.
gotta get them on them and bring them down. Yeah, like
Like,
sometimes
oh, I did this. I did this.
Yeah, like I'm not reading out a book. You know what I mean? Like I really did this before at a high level.
Yeah,
And I'm not just telling you something I've been through it before. So most of them don't. They're young enough, but as they go on, as they be around me long enough, somebody going to say something to remind, like to let them know, and then they'll probably go look it up and research it, and then come back. I ain't know you did that. I ain't know you did that. And that's how it be most of the time.
and I think that's so important, bro, because I know, bro, I done been around you and stuff like that. I could tell you not the kind of person that just gonna poke your chest out. But I think it's important for people to know who you are and what you've accomplished and the things that you've been through and everything they trying to do. You didn't been there and done that. So why wouldn't I want to play for a coach like that? And and you relatable. You know what I mean? And you passionate about what you do. And I think that's important, man. So I wanted to bring that up, bro, because I've heard that in the streets. When you first got the job.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely that narrative has changed. But I do want to touch on Bernard Causey, man. That kid is one of those kids that proved a lot of the naysayers wrong, right? I know you can talk about it firsthand because you've been coaching him for all the years he's been at Kennedy. But take me and talk to me about Bernard Causey, man, and what you've seen from him since he stepped foot in Kennedy and the growth you've seen from him since he's been there, and now ultimately, man, he's an LSU signee.
Yeah, man, that's the biggest thing to grow. Like you said, they had some bad narratives about him. Uh, you know, he one of them kids that you have to understand, man. When he's a firecracker, right? When he first hit the scene, he young. He just want to do everything. Like he just want to be a part of everything. He want to get into everything. want to talk trash, and like that's his demeanor. But
Passionate.
passionate, definitely. And the coaches like that to a certain degree. You got to learn how to channel it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they love about him. He has confidence. Confidence never waver,
Never.
never waver. He works extremely hard, more than anybody who you're gonna ever run across. Now he gonna talk more than anybody too, probably, but he backs it up with his work.
Mm-hmm.
Now the growth came in. He's learned how to channel that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he used to get into it. Anybody could tell him something, he gonna react and go 100 behind it. Now he's learning how not to entertain certain people, certain things that he hears, certain things that's being told to him. He's conducting himself better on the field, understanding the importance of being on the field and just being there for your team. So like from his first year to this senior year is a total 360.
For real. I
Total
seen it.
360, man. A lot of people gave him a bad rep for wearing that mink coat in
Mm-hmm.
the 7-on-7.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't even know that was an NIL deal, man. He didn't just come up with that. They paid him to do that.
No doubt.
And that rubs some college coaches the wrong way. That's the crazy part about it, man. Like some big schools, like
Mm-hmm.
say they didn't like that, or they thought his attitude, he too flashy and flamboyant or whatever, but not getting the full details behind it. And that's what I don't like. Like if you at that level, you should be able to do your homework.
Do your research.
Do your research. Find out what happened. Like they did that. Like they wanted to shed light to the 7-on-7.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did it, it went viral.
No doubt.
So they got what they wanted, but he's getting a bad rep off it. And some coaches didn't mind it. Like Prime didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He loved it. But you got to know the story behind it. So, and he realized that it hurt him a little bit with some of the coaches. But I told him, I said, man, that's the ones you don't need. The ones who want you going to find out. They're going to come do their research and see what kind of kid you are. Now it's up to you to show them. So you can't be getting in trouble and doing all this other crazy stuff. You got to humble yourself and do the right thing. And ever since then, man, he's gone on the road, seeing different things with that 7-on-7 and visiting those schools. Now he see it. He see it's right there. And I think that was the biggest wake-up call for him as far as, channeling it down a little bit and becoming the person who he is, because he has all the tools. He got the size, he got the speed, he got
The length.
he got the physicality,
The mindset.
the mindset. He has everything, man. It's really going to be on him. It's going to be on him to see if he could, on that next level, continue to sharpen his tools and get where he need to get, because I think he can. I think he's one of those kids that, and then he a lovable person.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere he go, everybody takes to him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And he a leader, not a father.
yeah, he's a leader. And he got just an uncanny way of doing it. Like they just gravitate to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like that everywhere he goes, 7-on-7, visits, camps, anywhere he go, he going to lead. And they just gravitate to him for some reason, man. He just have it.
Take me through the timeline, how special it was when the LSU offer came. He was committed to Ole Miss. P. Golden thought he had him.
Right.
All right. P. Golden, and I remember talking to P. P was like, gee, I think Bernard Causey is one of the best DBs in the country. I think he is an NFL caliber player. And when the LSU offer came, I knew it was going to be tough for him to turn him down. Talk about that moment, man, him getting the LSU offer and then ultimately committing to LSU and then signing. How special of a moment that was for y'all.
It was special, man. It was crazy because he felt some type of way because they didn't offer him.
He balled out at camp.
Yeah, he went up there and dominated.
I think he ran a 4.49.
Dominated.
He jumped good.
They caught a ball on him.
He balled out the one-on-ones.
And they didn't offer him. So he was like, he came back, he like, Coach, what else I gotta do? I said, man, it's a process, man. I said, just, it's gonna take its course, So Ole Miss came with the offer. And they offered him. Pete came out, practice a couple of times, went and watched him work out a couple of times, and he offered him. He loved him. He loved what he saw. So others, then Missouri, then everything just started coming. And I told him, I've been telling him that it's a process. Like that's the thing that not just him, but a lot of kids, they rush it. Like
They want it fast.
They want it fast. Like you want to offer, you just ready to go on Twitter and say, I'm blessed to receive off. It's gonna come, man. Just put the work in. It's gonna come.
Can't skip steps.
Right. So this the funny part about it though, with the LSU, and get back to that. So when it came, Coach Kelly called, had both of us on 3-way. He offered it. So you could hear in his voice, he was all giggly and it was excited. But when we get back to school, man, I don't know if I'm going there. They ain't won't mess with me when but I know because that's where he always wanted to go. That was the first. That's what he was working on.
That was his pride talk.
That was it. That was his pride. That was his pride. So I'm just letting him talk, right? So I know. I'm like, yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you. So now the next time we Frank got involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know when Frank get involved,
You already know.
Godfather. You already know what that is. So when Frank got involved, Frank started calling him and talking to him, and we went up there. We went up there, and he was ready. He been ready, but then he did it. That was it. He couldn't hold it no more. His pride couldn't go on the way no more. So, and I told him on the way back, I said, man, I've been new. That's where your heart was at. Like you can't change it. You can't change your heart. I mean, they didn't do you dirty. They just didn't do what you wanted them to do.
When you wanted
them to do it. You understand? So they ain't really mess over you. So that's how I knew you was gonna come back.
No doubt.
And it's the same. Situation. Same. You don't get no bigger than LSU. You know what I mean? Alabama, LSU, tomato.
Yeah.
So you in a good situation, man. They really want you. And that's what it's all about. That's what I tell them, man. You got to go where you want it.
Mm-hmm.
You still going to have to put in the work, but when you want it, you're going to have a real opportunity. So he was excited, man. And once that happened, it was it. And he was even better after that. Once he committed to LSU, he was coming through there, doing everything he's supposed to do, getting his school stuff even better. I'm like, yeah, it's really soaking in on him. So he stepped up and he was happy, man. That made his day. That was a good. I just was laughing at him because, like you said, his pride. I'm like, look at him. He know he gonna double back and go to.
Stop playing, man. Oh, even stop playing, dog. Talk about how that galvanized the younger kids coming up. Like the kids in like 19th grade.
Man, they went crazy, man. Not just the football, like just the kids in general in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just was huge, man. And
especially for the Kennedy.
For the Kennedy, you know what I mean? Like that's their first, like, and we were KIPP with the KIPP organization, so like this the first football scholarship a football player got from LSU in the whole KIPP organization.
That's a big deal,
down here. So that's a big deal. It's Kennedy first, so like you said, it always was known for basketball. And now we changing that narrative, now you got to start paying attention to what the football program is doing.
Doubt.
And that was the goal going in. We wanted to come in and just be one of those schools. Like when you mention what school you want to go to, we want our name to be in it. And that way, I think we are heading in the right direction with that. Because Carr is the mecca right now, and Bryce is just Bryce.
Doing a phenomenal job.
Doing a hell of a job, man. And they everybody say that they get all the kids and stuff like that, which, may be true. They get their fair share of kids, but you still got to put it together. You still got to put it together, man. And the way he run that thing over there it's awesome, man. Like, it's just beautiful to see.
No doubt.
And he's good at what he do. You know what I mean? Jerry, same thing at Eastern. Like, those programs are up there for a reason. You know what I mean? And can't hate on them, man. Like, they doing their thing. And all you could do is just, all right, I'm coming.
And I know, because when you think about Easton years ago, before Tony Hall got there, Easton was a laughing stock.
Yes.
Nobody was talking about no damn Easton when you talk about football. And now they're looked at as one of the prominent teams in the state of Louisiana. Right? Why not Kennedy next?
That's what I'm saying. Why not Kennedy next? That's our goal. And that's what I'm telling you now. Like, those guys put in the work and did that to get their programs where they,
and it takes time.
And that's what we doing. We working to get there too. Like, I know the hard work and a phenomenal job they are doing. So my hat goes off to them. I just want to get my program to be at that level. And and it take time, like you said, it take time and hard work. And I think we're heading in the right direction. And I think we right there knocking at the door. We're one of them teams now. I believe.
I see y'all, man. I see y'all. Y'all definitely trending in the right direction, man. I love to see it, man. I love to see young African American coaches, not only winning, bro. Of course, we won't win and we competitive and we won't try to put ourselves in an opportunity to put rings on our finger. But man, what you doing for the young people? Like, inspiring them, teaching them life skills, learning how to communicate, the importance of being on time. Those life skills that's going to take them in a later life. And I'd have been on the sideline, see you getting on them. You know what I mean? But I know your passion and where your heart at, dog. So I'm rooting for you, dog. I can't wait to see Kennedy as one of them prominent teams that people started talking about consistently throughout the state, bro. But we got to get into the Lynaris favorites, man, before we end the podcast. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Favorite football player of all time?
Jerry Rice.
Hands down.
Not even close. Best football player ever.
Favorite coach of all time that made the most impact on you, no matter what level?
Oh, that's tough, man. Whew. Coach Buck.
Coach Buck.
Henry Youngblood. He was coach us in Nord.
Park ball coach.
Park ball coach. He was a coach. He ran a Desire Center, the Desire Basketball Center.
Okay.
He ran that.
What is it about? What
He was just everything, man. He taught me everything. He was like a father figure. Like he was the closest. Like he was there for everybody. Like I love him to death. Like he was the because he was only doing the basketball. We had to go to Samson to play football because the project didn't have a park, so they wasn't a team. But we played basketball all the time.
Right.
And then the center had more than just basketball. We did ping pong and like just all kind of stuff in there. He just sit us down, life lessons, get on us about school. Our mama called him to get on us when we doing something wrong. He just was that. He was that guy. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of good men in my life with my coaches, but if I had to pick one, it'll be Coach Buck.
Favorite movie of all time?
Probably Scarface.
Damn, boy, that's like the third podcast in a row. Somebody said Scarface.
Scarface.
Damn. All right. Favorite sneaker all time?
Which one?
Yeah. Favorite sneaker?
Jordan the 4, the black and red ones.
The 4? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite place to visit?
Tampa.
Why?
I love Tampa. I have a blast every time I go to Tampa.
Toughest opponent you ever went against? All right, so hold up. 2-part question. Toughest opponent you ever went against as a player? Toughest opponent you ever went against as a coach? Like when you went against him, like he tough.
An
like,
individual?
Yeah.
As a player, I'll probably say, that's probably say Dion Branch
From the Patriots.
And as a coach, probably.
Like when you game planning for him, you like, I don't know how we gonna stop this motherfucker. And then when the game came, you like, damn, we can't, we ain't got nothing we can do to stop this motherfucker.
That's a tough one too, man. Probably E.D. White. I don't know the coach name.
Kyle the same.
Yeah. That option. It's a headache, man.
That's how y'all lost the last year.
Yeah, it's a headache.
It was something to prepare for?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to prepare for, man. He does a great job. I mean, he adds. He makes it more than just.
He put different wrinkles in it.
Yeah. Put different wrinkles in it. Yeah.
Favorite comedian all time?
Martin.
Martin?
Mm-hmm.
We starting to get some Martin traction on the podcast now. You know, a lot of people miss saying Bernie, Eddie Murphy.
I love Bernie too.
Yeah, I miss with Bernie. Yeah.
Not stand up, it'll be Bernie.
Okay.
But if it's like
Martin.
just my comedian, it's Martin.
Gotcha. If Lynaris Elpheage wasn't coaching football, what would you be doing with your life?
Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question. I really don't. I don't know. Let me think.
Insurance adjuster.
Maybe.
A trainer.
I don't know if I could. I don't know. I say that about coaching though, so I don't.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I say I don't know if I could train, but it'll be something helping kids.
Something helping kids.
Something helping kids.
All right. Man, this was a insightful podcast, man. I learned some stuff. I was looking forward to it, bro, because like I say, man, when I was growing up and I got to see you at Terrebonne High School, man, that second round of the playoffs, that's a memory that's gonna always stick out in my mind. And you know, I know not only to me, but a lot of people consider you a legend in the city of New Orleans, man. And I can't wait to, when we put this podcast out, they're going to be able to hear your story. And I know I'm getting a lot of hits. A lot of people hitting me up about it, man. Appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule, dog, to come on here, man. And I'm rooting for y'all over there at John F. Kennedy, man, going forward, dog.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
It's the FanView podcast, man. It's your host, G Sports, man. We signing out.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
It's DatBoyFred, host of FanView podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays 3:30 for the FanView podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.